밀어봐. 춤이 잘 돼. 오케이. 이야.
The shoulder muscles are made up of three parts, the front, side, and rear deltoids. And it is crucial that you train all three parts of the deltoids equally without neglecting one or the other in order to make the 3D delts. I personally like to start off with the rear delts, and the reason is because a lot of people, including me, have the upper cross syndrome leading to thoracic kyphosis, or commonly known as the rounded shoulders. It usually happens when you are sitting down on a desk for a prolonged period of time, which explains why so many of the students and office workers have bad posture. Among the many rear delt exercises, I specifically recommend the cable external rotations, and let me tell you why. This exercise makes use of all three functions of the rear deltoids. First, there is the external rotation of the humerus. This is what allows you to twist your arms in the clockwise direction. Think of when you're opening a doorknob, you are externally rotating your humerus using your rear delts. Second is horizontal abduction. Think of when you're giving someone a hug. That movement is horizontal adduction, and horizontal abduction is just the opposite, outwards movement. And lastly, there is the extension of the humerus, which is what allows you to pull your arm backwards, and it's essential for movements like doing rows or pulling movements. And the cable rotation is the perfect exercise that can cause all three of these functions of the rear delts to activate. It's also a very effective exercise for pre-exhaustion, which is an effective technique to increase the intensity of your workouts, especially if your goal is muscle hypertrophy. It's analogous to starting your chest days with pec deck flies, so that you can feel a better chest engagement when you do your actual dumbbell or barbell press. And here's what's important. Once you get to a certain point, you're gonna feel something that you've never felt before. An intense burning sensation on the rear delts that you didn't even know that existed before. And at this point, it's very likely that you will lose strength, and it will cause you to activate other synergist muscles. Synergist muscles are the muscles that assist the agonist or the prime movers of the exercise. In this case, it would be the mid-traps, teres minor, rhomboids, basically all of the back muscles. And you can actually see that I'm purposely decreasing my range of motion and doing partial reps in order to maintain the engagement on my rear delts. The next exercise is the barbell overhead press, also known as military press. The main target for this exercise will be the anterior delts, or the front delts, but because this is a standing free weight exercise with no back support, it will simultaneously target many other synergist muscles, such as the triceps, forearms, traps, the serratus anterior, and obviously your core muscles. And this is why it's called a compound exercise, because it requires multiple muscles at the same time to perform the exercise. I highly recommend that you just throw away your ego, start with the empty bar. Pushing the weight over your head will require an immense amount of core stability, and if you haven't done this exercise before, you don't want to risk a disc injury by going too heavy with improper form. Now listen. So many people overcomplicate this exercise, but it's actually very simple. Think of which way the gravity is acting upon. Vertically, not horizontally, not 45 degrees towards us, but vertically, which means the angle you should be pushing the bar should be vertical as well. So if you were to draw a line from the wrist to your elbows, that line should be perpendicular from the ground. That is the most efficient and safest way to do the OHP. Yet, so many people that are doing this exercise are pushing the bar slightly forward themselves instead of vertically. Why? Lack of shoulder mobility. Specifically, poor functions of the rear delts. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we started off with the rear delt cable external rotation. push. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2. 아홉. 라스트. 할 수 있어, 할 수 있어. 나이스. 업. 오케이.
Now, if you want to improve your physique, but you don't want to pay $1,000 a month for an in-person trainer, this might be for you. The first round of this coaching program just finished last month, which turned out to be extremely successful. One of my client, Danny, actually ended up losing 23 kilograms within 6 months, and he also ended up winning $500 in cash for a body transformation contest that I hosted. And I'm not trying to sell you anything, I just genuinely enjoy seeing people gain value from me. So if you're not really interested in the coaching program but you still have a question for me regarding fitness or other stuff, always feel free to leave a DM or a comment and I'd be happy to help. Also, if you gained any value from this video so far, I would highly appreciate if you like, subscribe, and comment, which would really motivate me to make another workout video like this in the future.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this is buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it. I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about finesse.
Now, in my opinion, I think presses should be grouped together because they are the ones that will require the most amount of your energy and strength. But one common mistake that I see people make in the gym is that they excessively lean on the bench and arch their back. This makes it relatively easier to lift heavier, which would be a good thing if you were a power lifter. But we're not. We are bodybuilding, focusing on muscle hypertrophy. So drop the ego, drop the weight, and push that core into the bench. By doing so, you'll be able to effectively target your shoulders in isolation without losing the efficiency to areas like your upper chest and feeling like you're gonna snap your spine. Remember, there's no point of lifting heavier than you can handle just to impress others. And don't get me wrong, if that's your sport, then skip this video and go over to a powerlifting video. But if you're working out to get that Captain America physique, you gotta first know how to lift with proper form.
I got the bread and I got the juice. I got some dogs and I let them loose. Bring in the storm, but this ain't the Zeus. Walk in the skies, but this ain't the loop. This ain't the cruise. We ain't the same, you ain't have a clue. I'm in the game and untouchable. Cause I got the flame and this is the proof. Loading my toad, I still want all the smoke. We ain't talking about jokes, we just talking about more. I see all of my goals and it's looking like gold. I ain't asking for hope, cause I know that this show now you seeing me blow. This is premeditated, I've been underrated, that's an understatement. I ain't coming later, the abundance came when I allow my bosom to the living grave. He the one who made it, so I'm in my bag. I that way before I ever raise a white flag. Shooting right back, raise the price tag. Chasing down all of these ghosts till I grab. Who could really stop me is what I ask. Homie, you can never get your time back. Only me and my reflection fight.
So the way I like to do this exercise is to start with a solid braced core and scapular retraction, which enables me to feel a better concentric contraction or the squeezing movement. Another way to do this exercise is by having scapular protraction, which means protruding your shoulders forward, which would be beneficial for the eccentric contraction or the stretch.
진짜. 그리고 견갑 안 모이고 후면만 먹는 데까지만 벌리는구나.
But there is one golden piece of advice that I will reveal to you guys. Internal rotation. By internally rotating your arms, like the thumbs down, you're essentially positioning the rear delts in a more advantageous position to carry the majority of the workload by minimizing the engagement of your synergist muscles, which in this case would be the rhomboids and the lats. But just be cautious by keeping the range of motion shorter for this one, because overextending your arms will not only disengage the rear delts past 90 degrees, and it'll transfer the workload to your back, but it also puts you into a higher risk for a shoulder injury.
오케이.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
When I do side lateral raises, 1, lightweight, 2, high repetition. That's all I think about. I'd go from a range from 30 all the way to 50 reps, basically until failure. I see some people at my gym do these with like 30 pounds while using like 90% momentum. And trust me guys, you will feel way more engagement if you just use 10 or 15 pound dumbbells and just spam them out for like 50 reps. And once you're done, congratulations, you now have a pair of boulders in your shoulders.
I get the money and it's right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell them I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
오케이. 바로 낮은 걸로. 하나, 둘, 떠도 돼. 아홉, 열. 오케이. 와. 가슴 좀만 더 들어봐. 그렇지.
오케이. 허리 진짜 얇다.
이야, 혈관 봐라. 좋네. 어우, 너무 좋다.